Hey y'all, Stafford G coming to you from a beach on the planet. Let's just see what it looks like today as a view of this gorgeous place. It's the South Beach, Miami. Look at the blue water. Blue water, freaking white sand everywhere, people out doing what they do on their little vacations or whatever. They get a couple weeks of vacation a year. It's today I'm going to tell you a story about another place where I was able to work. This is when I tell these stories about where I work is the whole idea behind it is to be able to let you know about back in the day when I did these jobs. The way you got to travel was you found a place you wanted to go and you figured out how to go there and make money doing it. Got to the place and made money. And this is second year out of high school, I think, and I had been to Jackson Hole. I knew Wyoming. I'd been to Teton. I'd been to Yellowstone. As a kid, my parents took us to Yellowstone Park. That's when the bears would come and eat peanut butter. You'd feed them outside the windows of your car. They were so plentiful. Since those days, they had to move all the bears back because they became so aggressive with people that would do that. But anyway, let's get back to this. Okay, so three of my buddies, two of my other buddies, we're going, let's go up to Teton Park and try to get a job in the park, because they hired kids. That was what they did. They hired kids for summer jobs because in the winter it snows so much you can't even get into the park. You can't even get close to where we would work. But anyway, so this is Jackson Lake Lodge, outside of Jackson, maybe 30-minute drive, 40-minute drive from Jackson Hole. And we're up there, and we take a drive, go up, fill out applications. Well, they hire all three of us on the spot, so we immediately head out and we go camping and fishing right then. This is the first day we do it, but so we start, we went back home. We're able to get all of our stuff, head back up, and worked there. We worked there for, I guess, 4 months. And in those 4 months, it's like they give you enough time. They work you minimally, meaning, I don't think we were even working 40 hours a week. We weren't making any money really, but they gave you room and board, but we were in an area that I can't describe. It's like, to me, it's like there's either the ocean in the Caribbean, the ocean here in Miami, or there are mountains in, wilderness. It's just incredible, right? And Jackson Hole, or the Teton Park and Yellowstone, those were, and the company I worked with at the Jackson Lake Lodge, this is Rock Resort. It's owned by the Rockefeller. Rockefeller he was so rich, he bought so much land. He was also the one that bought property on St. John in the Caribbean, Virgin Islands, where I went later in life. And he bought these properties and ran companies, and they were called Rock Resorts. Rock Resorts are like the most elite places, all in national parks. Canal Bay on St. John has since been sold to another company, but back then it was a rock resort. And the same with Jackson Lake Lodge, Jenny Lake Lodge, which was elite. These are all sitting on lakes. There's a lake, Jackson Lake Lodge is on Lake Jackson Lake. And then there's these small, beautiful, crystal clear, ice cold water lakes, and that was Jenny Lake, and there was cabins there. And this area is so incredible. So we're in Teton Park, which is the park before you get to Yellowstone Park. But anyway, it allowed me to camp. I mean, I would go sleep up on the mountain at night instead of sleeping in the dormitories, and I could sit up and sleep and overlook the lake. And this is Grand Teton. Grand Teton and Mount Moran are two of the biggest, most beautiful mountains in the world. And Teton Grand Teton was, I was looking at it, I was looking at Mount Moran, and I'm overlooking a lake, and I would camp there at night, get up, you know, go down, take a shower at the dorm, and then head to work. And you know, we were able to work, you know, 3 hours or 4 days a week, and then be able to go on days off and go up into Yellowstone. And back then we could get to a lot of places now that you can't even access, because they've, you know, the touristy's gotten so that they keep people out of these roads. But we used to drive down, you know, service roads and stuff and get way out, you know, bear country, dangerous to go out there, where you know, we would make noise a lot when we would walk, and cut, and to, if there were bears and stuff, that it would scare them off. But anyway, I mean, I became an avid fly fisherman. I would fly fish on these rivers that were just gorgeous. There's waterfalls, there's hot, you know, springs to swim. It's just a paradise. Old Faithful Lodge, where Old Faithful is, which later I ended up staying in the Old Faithful Lodge on on my honeymoon. We went and stayed in the suite at the Old Faithful Lodge. But you know, this is traveling, seeing the world, bucket list things I did my whole life. This was the second, you know, this is, I'm 2 years out of high school and starting to travel. That's when I realized I was not somebody that was going to sit idle or long, you know, very long, and I was always going to try to keep traveling. So far I have run rafts down the Grand Canyon, and now I'm in a national park, working at the park. And then my job after that was when I got into college, and I went and did seismic work, and that was just incredible stuff. It was insane to be able to fly into choppers. But the future's coming up. I'll get busy with some news stories and let you know where I went from there. But anyway, a link at the bottom of the page. You click it on now. It's time for me to be able to help you sustain a lifestyle of freedom. You got to know it's so easy these days compared to what it was. So click on the link below, and I'll be with you on my next video.